Welcome to a three-part presentation on the paradigm shift, prescription, 15 innovative ways to optimal living. In each part, you will hear three experts in the area of mind, spirit, and body. They will share with you 5 tools or techniques to help you survive the holidays and ordinary days. Hello, my name is Patrice Khan, and I will be sharing part 1 of the 3 parts. My area of expertise that I will be focusing on is the mind or head intelligence. Our mind is brilliant when used for analyzing information, making deductions, observations, and critical thinking. But if your mind starts to overthink situations or have repetitive negative thoughts, then it creates feelings of worry, fear, anxiety, anger, frustration, and stress. The field of neurocardiology has discovered that the heart plays a far more important role in regulating our thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, emotions, hormonal system, nervous system, and more. This type of intelligence is now referred to as heart intelligence. You might be thinking with your mind, what is Dr. Khan talking about? Heart's intelligence? What is that? Let me explain. Most people don't realize the significance, the role the heart plays. Most people think that the heart is just a physical organ in our bodies that circulates and oxygenates blood amongst a myriad other functions. Scientists now know that the electromagnetic field around the heart is 40 to 60 times more powerful in amplitude than the brain. The topic of my presentation today is head intelligence, IQ, and heart intelligence, HQ, equals a stress-free life. In my first tool, I want to ask you a question. What do you want out of life? What are your goals? What do you dream of having or doing? Take a moment to think about it, and you can even jot down a couple of answers. And if you need to pause throughout this presentation, please feel free to do so as you ponder on these thoughts. And now let me ask you another question. How would it make you feel if you got those things? Would you feel excited, happy, joyful, grateful? I have asked hundreds of people these questions, and when you distill it, the bottom line is we all want to feel good. Another question is, do you have a plan? How are you going to obtain a better work-life balance? Just like we use a GPS to get from point A to point B, we need a plan of how we're going to decrease stress in our lives. Most of us don't take the time to stop and think about this because life is so demanding and we are running from one thing to the next just to keep up. My life is super busy, probably just like yours. Last year, I moved from San Diego to Oregon to become the primary caretaker for my mother, who has a heart condition and had 2 strokes. She now uses a walker and recently has the early onset of dementia. Taking care of my mother is like a part-time job. My husband, who had polio as a child, now has post-polio syndrome and uses braces and a mobility-assisted device. At times I worry about him, especially when I see him fall, and now we live in rainy weather where it is easier to slip and fall. When left unchecked, these worries and the big worries create a lot of emotional turbulence inside of me. My life has many other challenges as well. So as you can imagine, not every morning I wake up feeling positive and ready to face the day. If I don't have a plan that includes my mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical life, I would simply become a complete stress case. I love this quote from Warren Buffett. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Yes, we need to have a plan. As you begin to think about creating a better work-life balance, keep in mind that Einstein said no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. What does that mean? It means that we can't continue trying to solve our problems from our mind alone. We need to go beyond the mind if we want to solve our challenges. And Steve Jobs said, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow know what you truly want to become. So you see, even though we are talking about the mind, we now realize that it is more about the heart, which has been scientifically proven to have its own intelligence. After I got my mom settled into life here in Oregon and I got myself settled, my heart's intelligence, my intuition was nudging me to start my business here in Oregon. Even though it has been a lot of work as any startup business takes, it has been an exciting journey. So the technique I'm about to teach you, I use daily, and this is what keeps me going. I never ask people to use tools and techniques that I don't use myself. So yes, it works. The information that I'm sharing with you in this presentation has been developed by the Institute of Heart Math in California. They have over 20 years of validated scientific research that is now used in hospitals, corporations, schools, and with individuals. Here is some of the published research with the American Journal of Cardiology, Journal of the American College of Cardiology, Harvard Business Review, Wall Street Journal, Stress Medicine, and many more. The second tool is a stress assessment for you to discover if you're experiencing any mental and emotional stress. Please make a note of which ones apply to you. Do you have difficulty concentrating, trouble making decisions, negative outlook on life, anxious or racing thoughts, constant worrying, general moodiness, irritability or short temper, agitation and anger, inability to relax, feeling overwhelmed, feeling lonely and isolated, depression or general unhappiness? If you have one or more of these symptoms, it may be a sign that you need to take a deeper look at your stress levels. The third tool is called the depletion to renewal grid. If we examine our emotional states, we live in any one of these four quadrants all the time. Let's take a closer look to see where you spend most of your time. On the left side of the grid are negative emotions, which typically can cause low performance at work, home, and it affects our health and well-being. On the top left quadrant is high arousal and negative emotion. Examples of these intense emotions are worry and anger. On the lower left quadrant is arousal and negative emotion. An example of this is loss of interest and resignation. On the right side of the grid are positive emotions where we are more apt to perform better. On the top right quadrant in the high arousal and positive emotions, the feelings are dynamic and energetic. On the lower right quadrant is cool under pressure. The question here is, where do you spend most of your time during the day? Obviously, we want to spend more time on the right side, and I'm going to teach you how to flip the switch from the left to the right side. Now that you know what stresses you're facing, I want you to see what that looks like in terms of your heart rhythms. This graph shows your heart rhythms with two different emotions. If you spend time during the day being stressed and worried or frustrated on the left side of the grid that you just saw, then your heart rhythms look like the one on the top in red. It's jagged, like an earthquake. This is when your mind can't think clearly and it is hard to make decisions. Alternatively, when you are on the right side of the grid, you feel good. It looks like a nice sine wave. And this is where you can think clearly and make better decisions at work and in your personal life. Now, the critical question is, how do you shift your emotions from stressed to feeling good? You need to have techniques so you can flip the switch inside of you so that you can mentally and emotionally feel good. The fourth tool is actually a powerful technique on how to shift your mental and emotional stressful states to feeling good again. One of the interesting things about this technique is that it can be used no matter where you are. You can use it with your eyes wide open or closed, sitting at your desk at work, or doing chores at home, or anywhere for that matter. You can use it on demand 24/7. Quick coherence has three simple steps. There's heart focus, which means that you focus on your heart right inside your chest. You move your attention away from the racing thoughts to your heart. The second step is heart focused breathing. This is where you visualize breathing into the area around your heart and out from that area. And the third step is heart feeling. This is where you imagine breathing a positive feeling. It could be a feeling of love or joy or appreciation or peace. Let's practice. First of all, I want you to focus on your heart. Just bring all of your awareness and attention right into the center of your chest. Now breathe into the area around your heart and out from your heart. Do that for a few breaths. Now breathe a positive feeling into the area around your heart and breathe that out. This could be a feeling of appreciation, love, joy, or peace. So go ahead and do that. This is a visual exercise, but it is best done when you can feel the feeling. That's it. Wonderful. There is also technology that shows you in real time whether you're managing your stress or not. This to me is brilliant, and personally, I think it is one of the best inventions in the personal growth and development field. It shows your heart rhythms and has a lot of other features to help release stress. So there is no more guessing. On the left is the M-Wave 2, which is hooked up to a computer. In the middle is the technology on the iPad, and on the right, it's on the iPhone. They will be coming out with the technology on the Android at some point. The fifth tool is one that I also use, a gratitude journal. Each day it is important to focus on our gratitudes. We can spend way too much time focusing on what's not right and what's not working and what we have not done. But as you know now, that takes you to the left side of the grid, the depletion side, and our heart rhythms become jagged and we feel awful. But we have so much to be grateful for in our lives. It is amazing when you start to do this. You begin to find all kinds of things to be grateful for and appreciative. When you do this exercise, it is very important to feel the gratitude and not just write it down from your mind. Remember, what you focus on increases. So, my hope and promise to you is as you discover and reconnect with your heart's intelligence and learn how to use it on demand with your head intelligence, you will gain a better work life balance. In summary, remember to ask yourself, what do I want? And create a plan. Use the stress assessment tool to determine what area in your life needs attention. Be aware of what quadrant you are spending more time in on the depletion to renewal grid. If you are more on the left side, create a plan of how you are going to get to the right side. I want to encourage you to practice the quick coherence technique and keep a gratitude journal. Now take a deep breath, bring in a positive feeling, and smile. You can't help but feel better right now in this ordinary day and through any holiday. I offer 3 types of programs. For adults, there's a 6-week stress management program called Building Personal Resilience. For students, I have a program called Test Edge to work with high school and college students. Students raise their test scores when they learn how to manage test anxiety and school stress. And a meditation class. I also facilitate this meditation-based stress reduction class. All of the programs that I utilize are scientifically validated, as you will see on my website. Here is my contact information. I work in person, Skype, or on the phone. You can check out my website for further details. Thank you so very much for participating today, and make it a coherent day.